G'day YouTube. Warbles on a lot here. This is a one-piece hand-carved wooden pipe which I made, I don't know, 10 years ago from a piece of wattle. Well used, takes approximately 0.05 of a gram of mixed herbs in its bowl. It can be half packed to 0.03, and after every bowl it gets cleaned with a made to measure ramrod designed to hold a fold of toilet paper. Ramrod goes into the bottom of the bowl. The mouthpiece has been repaired multiple times, and so has that split which opened up in the first week of use. Trouble with these things is you light a fire out here and your burning face is about 1,000 degrees, maybe 1,200 degrees, and the red hot gases comes back through your vegetable material and it vaporizes all the resin, and the resin moves away from the burn face and it moves into the stem. The purpose of the stem is to cool your red hot gases, which are not quite red hot by the time they get here, and bring them down to something tolerable before you get them into your mouth. Okay, they might be coming down 300, 400 degrees when they come into your mouth. I know pipe smoke is hot. Pipe smoke burns. Pipe smoke features tar. Pipe smoke features ashes. Pipe smoke features all kinds of hot, burnt, half-burnt vegetable material which stick in the back of your throat and make you want to gag. However, you get the effect, and as well as the effect of whatever's in the resin that you're trying to vaporize in order to deliver it to your lungs so that you can absorb it. Pipe smoke also contains carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, and carbon monoxide sticks to your red blood cells tighter than oxygen does. So when you get your red hot combustion gases cooling down to maybe 400 or 500 degrees by the time they get to there, they also deliver quite a lot of carbon monoxide into your lungs, which binds to your red blood cells tighter than oxygen does. So you get to feel hypoxic from carbon monoxide poisoning. Not super acute poisoning, but just a bit of it. And part of the perceptible feeling of, quote, being affected by the herb, in my opinion, is actually the effect of the carbon monoxide bound to your red blood cells. So, okay, when I used to make these and sell them, I'd sell them for $100 an inch, for $10 an inch, so that might be a $50 or $60 pipe. And yeah, looked after properly. 10 years down the track, it's all still working in perfect order. Had a few repairs, but you know, you could probably smoke it for another 5 years if you wanted to. However, my children treat me very well, and when they heard, one of them in particular heard that I'd been diagnosed with malignant squamous cell carcinoma of the right tonsil, she said, "Hey Dad, why don't you get rid of your pipe and try one of them instead?" So now I can prove I have a DaVinci IQ. And it reads out in Fahrenheit or Celsius. I have a DaVinci IQ, see? No bullshit. Now, the story is, works with dry herbs and extracts, bracket extract kits sold separately. Features: Type C charging, that means in the unit or out of the unit, change the batteries. Airtight zirconia glass vapor path. Heating method, heat not burn, 32 degrees Celsius to 221 degrees Celsius. Heat up time 30 seconds. Communications LED grid, vibration, and app with small paths. App with smart paths. Capacity 0.5 of a gram. So not 0.05, 0.5 of a gram. Heavy metal tested, no loose parts, warranty 5 years. And here we have a schematic. So we do. Okay, now, here's the story. That is the battery, accessed by hinging the top around that hinge there and flipping it up, battery change. Battery will run for an hour, going through the 4 stages of the smart path and going through the final stage twice. Takes about 28 to 30 minutes. So yeah, every time you refill the chamber, which has a heating element down here, and this round thing here is a air diffuser, because the air actually goes into the lid here, having come in through this hole here, runs up here and gets fed by suction applied here by the user's mouth through a little channel across here onto the zirconium Pyrex glass flavour tube. And here's a couple of screens and a filter, and there's the chamber there, and I'm pretty sure the heater element's here. So first it preheats the air going in, then the hot air gets heated to the specified temperature and it runs through the charge, and then the vapours of the resin on the surface of the vegetable matter go up through here. And if it's 200 degrees when the 212 degrees, 221 degrees when the air goes into the chamber, it's less than coffee temperature when it comes out the top end and goes into your mouth. So that's kind of the schematics of how it's supposed to work, as best as I can stumble it. And the story is, in May, my offspring gave me one of these. And the owner's manual was pretty slim and cursory. It said that you should go and watch some YouTube videos. So I did. And the YouTube videos, very thin. Welcome to the DaVinci family. Tell you what's in the kit, what's in the machine, tells you where to put your mixed herbs, like so. Shows you how the controls work. A rocker switch and a button. Shows you where to suck. And just through the hole there, where sucking on those 6 holes draws air from around here on this raised surface. It seals around here, meaning that you're sucking through that little square hole there in the rubber plug in a glass tube. So you suck here through that pipe on top of there, which sucks on here, which has a hole going through filters into the chamber down here, and the air comes up and in around here. So that's what you find there, and there is your ramrod poker. And there be the battery. And that says I have a full battery. Up at the other end, there is the little oven. And there is the little glass ball threaded on a rubber stalk so it can move. And when the chamber is full with 0.5 of a gram, you put that in there, and when you go to suck on it, air goes in there around the hinge. But when this is closed up, air comes around the hinge, goes in through these 4 holes, and then it is directed out around the base of the glass ball on the rubber stopper, so air gets fed in evenly around the circumference of the base of the oven. And that's where you can charge the battery in the unit. I prefer to have in the unit 3 charged, 1 charging. So I have 5 batteries. I started off with 1 and 1 spare. So the thing is, the pipe takes 0.05 of a gram, and you get probably 5 puffs on that pipe. Whereas the DaVinci takes half a gram. No, 0.5 of a gram, 10 times as much, right? 0.05, 0.5. And you don't get as many puffs, because what goes on is there are 4 distinct temperature bands, seen here in green, starting at 178 degrees, going up to 188 degrees, 189 to 200, 201 to 210, 210 to 221, or 222. So between here and here, if the temperature rises in one steady go, all of the volatile compounds in the resin on the vegetable material will vaporize. It doesn't get hot enough to burn it, it just vaporizes the active ingredient. The DaVinci Smart Path, there's a phase 1, bottom quarter. Phase 2 kicks in 1 degree hotter and goes another quarter. Same for 3 and same for 4. I have tried different methods of using the thing. There's also a method where you can push a button and go right up to 221, and as soon as you let go of the button, the temperature falls off and you can cycle up there. It's called boost phase kind of thing. And what's going on here is battery 1, allowing 30 seconds to reach operating temperature. It's taken 8 minutes for phase 1. It's then, after a suitable break, 30 seconds to heat up. It's taken 6 minutes for phase 2. So it's left that little bit there, and 30 seconds to heat up. It's taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes for phase 3. Then we've had 4 minutes in phase 4, which is half of it, and then we've gone into boost phase. Another battery on the red graph. Again, we've had 8 minutes. Then we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Then we've had 4 minutes. Then we've had 4 minutes. Then we've had 8 minutes. Then we have the blue graphs where we had 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, followed by 8 minutes. And that's the preferred method, in my opinion, if you can remember to get it all happening. If, however, you think you're smoking a pipe and you have one puff and you put it down and you get distracted, you can come back alerted when this thing vibrates to tell you it's just reached the end of its 8 minutes and you have just wasted battery power and cooked a heap of mixed herbs and got nothing out of it. And then if you get cranky and you go again, you then start here back to back with the first time, and you might get the effect of the herbs in the second one because you remember to do it, or you might put it down again because you're so used to putting down the pipe after having one puff and coming back in 10 or 20 minutes time to have the next puff, and you're going to get 5 puffs per pipe, which is how you can get down to 0.3 of a gram per day perhaps. Maybe 0.5 of a gram per day is pretty, yeah, 0.3 to 0.5 of a gram per day is quite achievable with a pipe that you can put down because it's very efficient. It's not at all wasteful. It goes out when you're not using it. This machine, if you don't pay attention, it's very easy to waste all your mixed herbs, flatten your batteries, and overheat the thing to the point where after I'd had it for a month, it stopped working. So this is my replacement on warranty. Isn't that sad? Therefore, this time, Chrissy got a bit serious. Chrissy has logged the ingoing voltages. Chrissy has logged the operating regime. Chrissy has logged the recharging times. And then Chrissy has graphed the results in order to figure out what actually works best. And the other thing is, your mixed herbs has to be dry. Water has 10 times the thermal mass of steel, so if you put a not quite dry sample of mixed herbs in there, all you're doing is boiling water and wasting your energy and not getting any vapour because it stays too cool. In my experience, being as abstemious as possible, if one slightly underfills the chamber and compensates by winding the glass ball a little bit further out, then one can fill with 0.33 of a gram instead of 0.5, and then it's going to beep like that at me until it reaches operating temperature, and you have to remember to turn it down to phase 1, otherwise it'll heat straight up to phase 4 and waste half of your mixed herbs. And if you get 5 puffs per 0.5 of a gram fill in the pipe, with this with 0.33 of a gram, you're going to get 5 puffs in the first phase, 5 in the second, 5 in the third, 5 in the fourth. There we go, it says it's ready. And then you'll get another 5 or 8. So you get kind of almost the same number of puffs, but because there's no carbon monoxide attached to your red blood cells, you don't get the head spinning and you don't feel as quite as stoned. Whatever it is that you feel when you're smoking vaping mixed herbs. So we'll see what we will see. Virtually no visible exhalation, and it doesn't stink either. So to my way of thinking, yeah, this is a pretty good idea. Especially if you've got cancer of the mouth and you don't want to bombard your cancer primary tumour with hot smoke and ashes and tar and resin and all of the crap that you find in pipe smoke. So there you go, and now you know, if you're going to get a DaVinci IQC, then you better figure out how to use it and use it properly, otherwise it will drive you bloody mad and waste a lot of mixed herbs, and then you'll probably break the unit from overheating it, because that's what happened to me. Now I've got one that I know what to do with, I'm having fun with it, and the fact that it uses twice as much to get as bent is just a function of the fact that there's no carbon monoxide in the smoke, I think. All was on what YouTube. That's your tutorial. Ciao. 179 degrees. So that's going to keep going for another 4 degrees, and then I'll switch it off when I'm halfway through phase 1. No point filming that because now you know what there is to know. Ciao.